Hi everyone, today what we're going to do is we're going to remove this bench, we're going to do a little bit of carpentry work, and we're going to clean off the old fabric, and we're going to put some new foam and new fabric on it, so hold on, take a look. I need a piece of wood that's 23 inches long. I'm going to measure it, I'm going to square it up and mark it, and I want to use my cordless circular saw to cut it. Then once I get it up into the house, I'm going to take these and I'm going to mark out because it's not a straight surface. So I will show you how I use these to mark the area that I need to cut to make it a perfect fit. If you look at the blade, there's a little piece of carbide on here. The thickness of the blade is called the kerf. So when you're cutting, you have to make sure that you cut on the correct side. Usually what I'll do is I'll put a little X on here to know this is the piece I'm cutting, but this is the piece I want. So when I go to cut it, I cut on this side of the line so I make the perfect length. I'll just get my length, my line all the way down to the end. Let me line the blade up better. I want to put this board in here, but if you see I put the board up here, there's a big gap here, right? See that? So what I want to do, this wall is straight, so, well, it's a little bit of a curve here. So what I want to do is I want to make sure this is straight. Then I'm going to take this tool and I'm going to, let's make sure we got straight here. That's pretty straight. I take this and I open it up to the widest part here. Hold on, I'll show you in a second. I want this to fit in here perfectly. I don't know if everything here is square. So what I'll do is I take this tool, a scribing tool, I make it to the widest width here, tighten it down, and then I come along here and that's where I have to cut it. Let's go cut it. Since my lovely assistant is filming this, I have to clamp it down. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this part here. This saw to cut the corners because the blade is round and it won't completely cut through. So let me first. Yes, I know this is a metal file, but to file this little bit down and without ripping the wood, it works fine. So I fit the board in here. I need to make a few adjustments. So if you look here, there's a little gap. Come around here. There's a little gap in here. Okay. So what I do is I take these. I don't even know if I can set them that small. Maybe I'll do it this way. Now that we've fended off 1,000 bees, we need to take all the staples out of here. This is a stapler puller, and now we got to pull all the staples out and then cut this down to size, then glue the new piece of foam on it, and then put the new fabric on it. So my next step, after we removed all the staples, removed the old padding, will be to cut this piece of plywood down to 64.5. I'm going to take a minute to talk about the tools that I'm going to use. This is a circular saw that is battery powered. I've owned this saw for about 25 years. What's great about this brand name is the batteries are warranted for life. So I've had this for 25 years. They've replaced the battery several times. It has really been a great deal for me, but lifetime batteries on these. This is a square used to make roof raking. There's a bunch of different things you can do with this. Tape measure. This one's 25 feet. I don't know what that is in meters. 8 meters, roughly 10 meters. This is a framing square. You can use this when you're framing a building or a house. Also used with a couple other pieces to this to help lay out stair treads. And the other thing is, whenever you're using a power tool, I'm just using it for quick cuts. I'm not wearing hearing protection. If I was using this all day, I would be wearing hearing protection. I have my glasses on. Should always wear eye protection, and always be careful of your hands and be mindful that the guard is working, because it will cut your arm off. So let me measure this out. I'm going to do 64.5, and we're going to cut this, and then we're going to lay the new foam on it and glue the foam down and start doing the upholstery work. So I'm ready to lay out my lines, and my pencil broke. So I just want to take a moment to talk to you about something I invented called Speed Sharp. You actually take a drill and you stick it on the front here, and it turns into a pencil sharpener so that I can quickly sharpen my pencils in the field. Here's another broken one, but it's a big carpenter's pencil. They're much bigger and harder, and I can sharpen them quick. But I invented this tool. It's patented. They're being sold on Amazon, but they're called Speed Sharp. Don't think you would use one, but if you do, they're a nice Christmas gift or a birthday gift or a Father's Day gift. I've invented many other things, but I'm using this now because I needed a sharpened pencil. At the bottom in the comments, or we'll put it on the screen. I don't know. We'll see if my lovely assistant knows how to add speedsharp.com to the screen. The board is clean, the board is cut. Here's the foam we're using for the seating surface. I need to now cut off the excess foam on the side. I'm going to use this cutter. Interesting story about this cutter. The company is Olfa. They don't sponsor us, but interesting story. A couple of Japanese brothers invented this after the war, primarily to do wallpaper design, where you can take the blade, once it gets dull, snap it off, bring out another one, bring out another one. But it's good for making deep cuts. But this is a Japanese-made knife. Pretty cool. So I have this lined up on here. I'm going to start making some cuts through the foam, little by little, to cut this piece. Hi, so now we have the wood cut, we have the foam cut, we have the table set up with the new covering. Now we talk about stapling the fabric to the wood. Now, there is the manual staple gun. There is what's called a hammer stapler, where you just, okay? This is good for doing roofs on houses in America. This is an electric stapler, okay? But you can't go very fast with it. This one is what's called a wire stapler. So if you're running computer wires, you can staple the wires with these without it breaking. What we're going to use today is one that's very similar to the manual one, but it uses air. And we put the staples here in the bottom. I will hook it up to my air compressor, and we can staple this together very quickly. You can use the air pressure on the compressor to vary how much, depending on how hard the wood is. Put more pressure. I believe you can go up to 90 psi and up to 1/2 inch staples with this. So we're going to start doing that now. Let me clean up my tools, and we'll start working on that. So we have 3 of the corners done. We're using the air stapler, but this is how the bench looks. We ironed it from the back side, get the wrinkles out, and we're going to do the last corner there, and we'll show you when we're finished. So the bench is almost finished. I just have to nail down the 2 sides, fill the nail holes, and then paint them. This is a Paslow gas nailer. It's cordless. It shoots in a variety of nails, and I'm going to just tack them in, nail them in, and then I'm going to caulk the any little gap, and we're going to paint it, and we're going to be done.